Yesterday, we learned solid how to implement the BMM layer. Those all 5 steps you understand. Step 1 is creating the business model. Step 2 is creating logical tables and logical columns. Step 3 is renaming logical tables or columns. Okay, next step 4 is what's that? Creating the joins and all. Step 5 is creating the measures. These are the 5 steps what you understand. And on the flow, we understand one important interview question answer, that is, even though we are creating physical giants in the physical layer, why you require logical giants in the BMM layer? There is one famous question in interview they will ask. For that, we have solid answers. In physical layer, we cannot handle below options. One is driving table, cardinality, type of join, and identification of the dimension table and fact tables, and the query path to create the query. The query path also decides based on logical join. The tool is designed, these all 5 options should be enabled only with the logical join. As we cannot create these 5 things in the physical layer, surely we need to go for logical layer. And one more point, without logical layer, without logical join, if we develop your RPD also, finally it will throw the errors. Hence, the conclusion is logical join is mandatory. Now, we'll try to understand some more simple points whatever we have in the BMM layer. Right. If you go for the BMM layer, the objective is this: for the objective, identify the objects in the business model and mapping layer of a repository. I hope you people in a position to identify the objects available over there. Can you recollect what are the objects we have in the BMM layer, sir? Number 1 is business model. In one business model, we have a number of logical tables. In one logical table, we may have a number of logical table sources. In one logical table source, a number of logical column to physical column mappings may be available. And these logical columns are divided into 3 types. One is key columns, descriptive columns, measure columns. So if people understand what are the objects are available in the BMM layer. Next, build a business model. If people knows how to build a business model, actually you build B174 underscore sales. Let's create measures in a business model. You understand how to define a normal column as a measure column. There is nothing but how to associate a aggregation rule, to a measure column. That also people understand. Now, if you go for the next one, business model and mapping layer, how to define it. The BMM layer is where physical schemas are simplified and reorganized to form the basis of the user's view of the data. This point is important, basis of the user's view of the data. What is the meaning of this one is, if people already knows, in the physical layer, object's terminology will be as per the database terminology. If you are trying to change any physical layer object name, it is going to throw the error. I mean to say, whenever you are running that one, whenever you are seeing the data, it throws the error by saying identifier is not available or table is not available, like that. But that columns whatever available, the tables whatever available in the physical layer, directly if I use in the reporting end, user will not understand anything. For example, yesterday we have 2 columns. Let us say one is reason column, let us say. Second is ACTL EXTND. As a developer, ACTL EXTND means actual extended dollars, that he knows. But if end user will not know what is ACTL EXTND, there is reason we need to rename. We renamed as what, sir? Dollars. We renamed as dollars. Okay, that point is clear. There is reason we are saying as it's the basis of the user's view of the data. How users thinks about that guy data, it will be converted in that fashion. Now, if you go for the next one, business model and mapping layer objects. Objects are available. These are the things. One is business model. Second is dimension hierarchies. As of now, I didn't discuss this object that is called as dimension hierarchies. Okay, it will come down the line. How that shape will be looks like this. Let us say I'm trying to open all programs, Oracle Business Intelligence, then BA administration, then go to the file menu, open, then offline. Your RPD name is B174 underscore EBA. This is what your RPD. RR capital, ITEC small, 1, 2, 3. Now this is what yesterday you developed. If I want, I can right click on this customer. If I want, I can right click on this customer, create logical dimension. There I have an option, what's sir? Dimension with level based hierarchy. At that moment, we got one more object. This is what called as dimensional object. Okay. However, we'll discuss this one later point of time. As of now, we have one object that is called as dimensional hierarchy object. We didn't discuss that object. Next point is we have logical dimension table. This is called as dimension table, and this is called as what's sir? Fact table, and also logical table source. This is called as logical table source. This is called as logical columns. Logical columns are 3 types. One of the type is what sir? Measure. One of the type is measure. Okay, now if people understand what are the objects are available in the BMM layer. It's similar to what are the objects are available in the physical layer. What are the objects available in the physical layer? Now next one, business model mappings. Very important point, sir. Business model mappings. BMM layer objects map to source data objects in the physical layer. Source data objects in the physical layer. Mappings are typically not one-to-one. Mappings are typically not one-to-one. What is the meaning of this one is, see here, business models may map to multiple data sources, multiple databases I can say. Let us say if I am going for our RPD, then as of now, all these tables are coming from which database, sir? Oracle database, that is ORCL data source. And here I have one more source also that is called as Excel. In that Excel, I have some columns are available like this. Now, if I want, I can drag and drop this DEPT onto this business model. Now tell me, this business model, logical tables are coming from how many databases, sir? One is from Excel, next is what from where, sir? Oracle. Can I say now one business model may have multiple data sources, may have multiple databases? Yes. So that's how we are defining here that point. Business models may map to multiple databases. May map to multiple databases. Now, next point, logical tables may map to multiple physical tables. That means one logical table, this is called as logical table. As of now, this logical table, depending on what, sir, this is what the logical table source. Not only this one, as of now, each and every logical table is depending on only one logical table source. In turn, each and every logical table source, depending on only one physical table. In turn, each and every logical table source depending on only one physical table. But if you want, you can drag and drop some more objects here, and you can make this logical table should be depending on multiple LTS also. I mean to tell, let us say if I want, I can drag and drop this EMP whatever available onto this logical table. I am dragging and dropping. What, sir? EMP whatever available, I am dragging and dropping here. Then immediately you can notice here one point. What you are noticing is, what, sir? One more logical table source is created. Yes or no? Now tell me, for this logical table, how many logical table sources are available? 2 logical table sources are available. In turn, this logical table source is depending on one physical table. This logical table source is depending on one physical table. Hence, I can say this logical table is depending on 2 physical tables or not, sir? This logical table is depending on 2 physical tables or not. That's why we written here the point logical tables may map to multiple physical tables. Similarly, logical table source may map to multiple physical tables. What is the meaning? As of now, if you see D1 orders 2, depending on how many tables, sir? Only one physical table. If I want, I can go to the plus symbol and I can add here one more table also, I can add it. Now tell me, it is depending on how many tables, sir? 2 tables. Okay, as of now you understand as a points wise, one business model may have multiple databases, one logical table may have multiple physical tables, one logical table source also may have multiple physical tables. But in which scenario we'll go for that one, we'll come to understand down the line. Whenever I am trying to teach, adding multiple sources for concept is available. Whenever I am teaching that one, you come to understand when we go for that one. Am I clear? As of now, the possibilities are there. Next, logical columns may map to multiple physical columns. That are also possible. Suppose if you take aggregate tables concept, let us say I am taking one, for example only I am taking, so this is, suppose I am taking here one more table I am trying to import from the database, import my data. Next, I am trying to import one table that is called as supplier 2. In the supplier 2 one table I am importing order underscore AGG1. AGG1 stands for what, sir? It's a aggregate table. It is a aggregate table. I imported that one. Now I got here one table that is called as order AGG1. In fact, we have one more table that is called as D1 orders 2. In this one, common column is what, sir? ACTLE extend. As of now, this dollars is pointed to this ACTLE extend or this ACTLE extend, sir. If you want that relationship we want, we need to go for logical table source, then column mapping. There you can see dollars is coming from ACTLE extendee. The table corresponding is what, sir? D1 underscore orders 2. How many people not came yesterday? 1, 2, 3, 4. Waste, sir. If you continue course in this way, it is waste. Today, whatever I am telling this point, logical mapping, yesterday I shouted 3 or 4 times. Those people can immediately understand. Now you people cannot understand that point, right? Alternate solution. Everyone is busy. Alternate solution is, if you are not able to come to class due to XYZ reason, at least that day evening, okay, at up to 10 chapters, it is available in the YouTube also. Try to listen that chapter, whatever you missed. That is the alternative. In worst case, I am not recommending you to miss the class. You need to come to class. Suppose if you miss, the alternative solution is by the time you reach my class, you need to listen that one using YouTube or using my server, you can listen the recording. That's why you will be up to mark. Am I clear? Next time onwards, don't repeat this one. Thank you. Now, as of now, this column is coming from where, sir? D1 underscore orders 2. D1 underscore orders 2. Okay, that point is clear. Now, let us say if I am dragging and dropping ACTLE extend whatever available, slowly I am dragging and dropping onto where, sir? Your dollars is available on the dollars I am dragging and dropping. Whenever I drag and drop, then automatically what happens, sir, here? One more logical table source is created. If you see here, I am going for D1 order 2 here. It is saying as what it is coming from D1 orders 2. If I go for this logical table source, and if you see here, dollars is coming from where, sir? ACTLE extend, it is coming from. That means there is a chance like one logical column may map with multiple physical columns or not. There is a chance like one logical column that is called as dollars is mapped with 2 physical columns that are coming from 2 different tables. Yeah, when you get this kind of scenario, it's same. Directly whatever I did here. Aggregate tables concept, whenever I am teaching, then this kind of scenario will come. Aggregate table means what, sir? In the detail level also money is there. Aggregate table also what, sir? Money is there. Maybe in the detail level, day level, how much money we got is stored. In aggregate table what, sir? Year level or month level, what is the money we got that is stored. Am I clear? That is the reason only I imported the aggregate table wantedly here. Okay. As of now, okay, if people understand that one, I am trying to delete this D1 order AGG1. Even from here also, I am trying to delete that one. I am trying to delete that one. Now, even this employee is not required. If people 4 points solidly understand that 4 points are called as one business model may map to multiple databases, one logical table may map to multiple physical tables, one logical table source may map to multiple physical tables, one logical column may map to multiple physical columns. These are the 4 points. What is your understanding? That is the reason mappings are typically not 1-to-1. Always it may not be 1-to-1. Most of the times what, sir? 1-to-many only happens. One logical object will be mapped with multiple physical objects which are available in the physical layer. Now, let us go for the next slide. Business model mapping layer object.
Hi, Ram Reddy, I have a question.
We have here business models, logical tables, logical table sources. Guys, please go on mute. Someone is joined.
I have a question, Ram Reddy.
Yeah, Satish.
What is the difference between the second and third
What is the difference between second and third point in the above slide, right? Let me go over there.
in the previous slide?
Yeah, I got it. So this is what logical table may map to multiple physical tables. Logical table source may map to multiple physical tables. What is the difference? The difference is, if you go and see here, this is called as logical table. This is called as logical table source. This logical table source internally pointing as of now only one physical table. If I want, I can go for the plus symbol. I can add one more thing. Select it. Click on OK. Now what is the meaning of this logical table source is depending on two tables. If I want, I can drag and drop this EMP table onto this fact sales. Then what is happening, sir? This logical table is depending on how many tables are total, physical table space. 2 plus 1. In this D1 orders to internally, we have 2 physical tables are available. In EMP internally, how many tables are there, sir? 1 table is available. So my logical table is depending on how many tables, sir? 3 tables. So logical table dependency is nothing but within that one, how many logical table sources are there? That logical table source is again depending on what are the physical tables. That result is what, sir? Dependence of the logical table. But this logical table source dependency is nothing but internally what our tables are available, that is the what. Satish, am I clear?
Yeah.
Okay. As of now, I am deleting this one. Delete it. Yeah,
Thank
please
you.
go on mute once. Right. We completed these all steps. Now let us go for the what is business model. What is business model? You people tell me what is the biggest object in the physical layer, sir? What is the biggest object in the physical layer? Database object. There is a reason ORCL is a database object. This also database object. What is the biggest object here? Business model. What is the biggest object here? Subject area. So in each and every layer we have one biggest object that is called as data source. Next business model. Next subject area. These are what the biggest model. Here also we are saying business model is the biggest object, highest level object in the BMM layer. Next contains the business model definitions and the mappings from logical to physical tables. Yes or no, sir? Each and every logical table is depending on one physical table, surely. Now simplifies the physical schemas. Whatever supply to is available in the supply to, I may have tables corresponding to finance, corresponding to sales also. Let us assume, even though like that it is available, I can model here. I can create two business models. One is for sales, other is for finance. Finance corresponding tables I can drag and drop into where, sir? Finance. Sales corresponding tables I can drag and drop into where, sir? Sales. Am I able to simplify the database schema into multiple business models or not? Yes. That's why we written that point. That point is called as simplifies the physical schemas. Next, captures how users thinks about their business using their own vocabulary. So yesterday wantedly we changed one name here that is called as dollars. Here actually that name is what, sir? ACTLEXTND. ACTLEXTND means actual extended dollars, but client will not be knowing that one. Our customer will not be knowing that one. That is the reason wantedly we renamed as what, sir? Dollars. So that end user will be understands clearly. That's why we written this point. Captures how users think about their business using their own vocabulary. Now, what do you mean by logical tables? Very simple. Represents logical tables are two types. One is fact table. Second is what, sir? Dimension table. Fact table means if you have the hash symbol, then it is called as fact table. Without hash symbol, it is called as dimension table. Now, can we create it automatically by dragging tables from physical layer? Yesterday we did or not, sir? Just we dragged and we shown that one. Next, manually by right-clicking a business model and selecting new object logical table. Yesterday this step also we followed. Correct or not? Yes. Now, can be modified without affecting physical layer objects. Can be modified without affecting physical layer object. That means if you change here any naming conventions or whatever, is it changes in the physical layer, sir? No. That is the reason we can change this one without modifying the physical layer object naming conventions and all. Okay. Next, let us go for the next one that is called as logical table source. Defines the mappings from a logical table to physical table. I said already more important object to talk about the logical layer to physical layer, how the mapping is available. Suppose if I ask a question, dollars is mapped with what is the logical column here, or this logical table is depending on what are the physical tables here. Whatever type of question if I ask, I need to go for the logical table source internally, and I need to see, okay, this is depending on what is the physical table, sir, D1 order 2, and the column mappings, if you want to mean dollars is coming from which table, sir, D1 order 2. So if you want to know how this mapping is happened, this logical table is depending on what physical tables, this logical column is depending on what physical column. That kind of questions to answer, surely you need to take help of what, sir? Logical table source. That's why we written this point. The point is defines the mappings from logical table to physical table. Next, logical tables may have multiple logical table sources. Correct or not? Logical table may have multiple logical table sources. Previously I shown you D1 order 2 as well as EMP also I shown you. Now, one logical table source may map to many physical sources. That are also possible. Within one logical table source, I may have multiple physical tables. Simple words, whatever logical object you take in the BMM layer, that one to many is possible, sir. One to many is possible. One business model may have a number of databases. One logical table may have a number of physical tables. One logical table source may have a number of physical tables. One logical column may map to a number of physical columns. There is a thumb rule. One object here map with the n number of object in the physical layer. Now, next one, logical table source column mapping. This is the important area. Always we need to understand logical column corresponding what is the physical column. Then we need to go for column mapping and we need to understand that one. Next one, logical columns represents the business view of the data, may map to many columns in the physical layer. Possible. One dollars column mapped with the two columns ACTLE extended coming from D1 order 2, ACTLE extended coming from aggregate table. Next two, may be defined by other logical columns. Okay, this is important. May be defined by other logical columns. What is the meaning is, if I want to calculate, let us say I have here unit order is available, unit shift is available. These two are logical columns or not, sir? These two are logical columns. Suppose if I want to create pending orders, new object, logical column, pending orders. I can go for column source. I can go for what, sir? Derive from existing expression, 8 expression. I am taking input as what, sir? Logical tables. In that one, fact sales is a fact table. Then I have here unit ordered minus. Then I have here unit shift. Then I am trying to click on. See here, it is a physical table naming convention or logical table naming convention. Carefully observe and tell me. B174 sales is a business model name or database name? Business model name. Hence, it is a logical table naming conventions or physical table? Logical table. So, if I click on OK, can I say this logical column is depending on these two logical columns or not? This logical column is depending on these two logical columns. Hence, we written here that point may map to, may be defined by other logical columns. Now, my pending orders is defined by using other logical columns called as unit ordered and unit shift. Next, can be created automatically by dragging tables or columns from the physical layer. If it's simply drag and drop, automatically these columns are created. Next, manually by right clicking a logical table and selecting new object and logical column. Just now what we created the pending orders, this was the process we did. Am I clear? Right. Let us move on to the next one that is called as logical primary keys. Define unique identifiers for logical tables. Defines the lowest level of detail of a logical table. Lowest level of a detail of a logical table. What is the meaning is, suppose if I take a DEPT table, DEPT number is the minimum column. Yes or no, sir? DEPT number is the minimum column, that is the primary key column. I mean to tell DEPT number column will not be duplicated. In employee table, employee number is the minimum column. If you take the timetable, the minimum column is, day column is the minimum column. Month, quarter, these all things are high level columns. Day column will not be duplicated. Are you clear? But month may be duplicated. January will come. For the first day of the January, second day of the January, third day of the January, I will write month as what, sir? January. So always the minimum level column is called as what, sir? Key column. The minimum level column is called as key column. However, we'll discuss this point more clearly with some sample data down the line. As of now, minimum level column in a table is called as what, sir? Key column. That column will not be duplicated. Next two. Are required logical primary keys are required for each logical dimension table for valid repository. What is the meaning of that one is, let us say D1 time I have primary key column or not, sir? Customers I have primary key column or not? Products I have primary column or not? Actually this is not in our things. DPT I taken just for example only. But fact table, do I have any primary key column, sir? No. Here my point also very clear, are required for each logical, what, sir? Dimension table. Fact table it is not required. That's what it is meaning. If I go and drag and drop into the presentation layer, I want to check this one, file menu, check global consistency. It's saying as what, sir? Is consistent. Consistent means it is perfect. There is no errors are available. But if I go for, let us say, by MMDD, one thing is available, right? I am trying to delete that one. Not the column, only the key. Let us say I am going for this logical table and here I have the key. Let us say I am deleting only key. That means column is available. Only thing is what, sir? I am declaring that this is not a key column. Like that I am declaring. Then if I go for the file menu, check global consistency, you will see here what, sir? Not consistent. What is the reason behind it? If you go and see, it is saying clearly, time does not have a properly defined primary key. From this, what is your understanding, sir? Each and every logical dimension table must have a primary key column or not? You must define it. If you are not defining it, then you cannot move forward because it is throwing error. Hence, we written this point very clearly, are required for each logical dimension table for valid repository. You want to check your RPD, you need to make sure before that all dimension tables have logical primary key columns or not. Now, next one, logical joins. Yesterday we discussed solid 5 points we discussed about logical join, and also these points also will help you those points. See here, express the cardinality relationship between logical tables and are required for a valid business model. So this cardinality cannot be defined in the physical layer. We need to define where, sir? In the BMM layer only. Next, help Oracle BA server understand the relationship between various objects of the business model. If this join is not available, everything is independent means how it will understand, sir? Are you clear? You and me are talking means because you are a student, I am a sir, some relationship is there, correct or not? Similarly, these tables also need to talk means there should be some join, correct or not? You got my point? Okay. So helps Oracle based servers to understand the relationship between various objects of the business model. There is reason each and every table in the BMM layer must be connected. If you by mistake we are not connecting any table, let us say I am trying to revert this one. That means I want to create the key column. I am going and I am trying to create the key column. Some name give it. The column is YYMMDD and I am defining this as what, sir? Primary key. Now if you go for the file menu, check global consistency, it is not throwing any error. Now what I will do is, as of now, all the tables here are connected or not, sir? Connected. Sometime what I am doing is, I am trying to delete this join between customers and fact sales. Now if you go for file menu, check global consistency, you can find it out, what, sir? What is the reason? If you go and see, D1 customers logical table, D2 customers is not joined to any other. So join is mandatory or not, sir? Join is mandatory. Without the join, OBIEE will not understand how this is related with other tables. Without join, OBIEE tool will not understand how this table is related with other tables. That is the reason it is a mandatory point. Hence, we need to learn this point. There is no other go for you. Next, examining logical joins is an integral part of how Oracle-based server figures out how to construct the physical query. This is very important. How to construct the physical query. If people are already aware of it, whenever you ran one report, backend what is happening, sir? Physical query will be fired. That physical query can be created n number of ways. I given one requirement to 10 members, let us say. I asked them to write SQL queries. Each and every member will write their own style. I may get 10 different queries with different functionalities, correct or not? But one member is very good guy, technically strong. That guy will write query in an effective way that will execute within 1 minute. Other guy is just his learner. He written the query, answer is we are getting, but that will executing for 15 minutes. Possible or not, sir? One expert written one query, that is giving same result. One learner written one query, that also giving same result. Only difference is what, sir? Performance. Effective query if you want to write. Effective query you want to write. Good query you want to write. This logical giants are what, sir? Mandatory. How it is creating the query, that all depends on based on logical giants only. Next point. Logical giant continuation is used to define giant relationship in the BMM layer. Next point is very important, sir. Allow Oracle based server to make the best decision. This is important point. Best decision about the exact physical SQL to generate based on the logical query path. So based on this logical query path, it is generating what, sir? Best SQL query path it is generating. Best SQL query path means whatever I said previously, performance wise the query need to execute what, sir? Lesser time. That's what the best means. Am I clear? Next two. Measures. Already people are aware of it yesterday. Measures are what, sir? Are the facts of a business used to evaluate its performance. Suppose I given my revenue column of the institute from the corporate training what you are getting, online training what you are getting, and classroom training what you are getting. Based on the revenue column, you can estimate my business is doing good or not. Correct or not? So each and every measure column will help you to understand the performance of the business. Hence we written that one are the facts of a business used to evaluate its performance, how it is doing. If good revenue, then I can say good business. If bad revenue, I can say it is not doing good, performance is low. Next are calculations that defines measurable quantities. Next are created on logical columns in the fact table. This is important point. Have a defined aggregation rule. Each and every measure column must have what, sir? One defined aggregation rule. The aggregation rule may be count or sum, min, max, standard deviation, anything else. Any aggregation rule basically. Okay, even yesterday we created, but at the end of the class we didn't save it, it seems to be. That is the reason I am not seeing the dollars, these all things are as measures. If you want, you can create it very simply. Double click, go for aggregation, then we need to define our what, sir? Sum. Similarly, go for unit ordered, define as sum. Similarly, go for unit shift, sum. Similarly, go for network shift, sum. Okay, all the things we calculated. Now, okay, that is completed. What do you mean by measures? Next, implementation steps. Yesterday we learned these are the implementation steps. First step, second step, third step, fourth step, fifth step. These are fifth steps are completed. In the lab, try to read the best practice also what is there. You come to understand those all things. With this, I completed entirely this BMM layer, sir. So you need to practice in this fashion only. Once the chapter is completed, first try to do one by one line my notes, sir. First priority goes to my notes. Once notes one by one thing you practice, then go for reading the slide one by one point. How I explain a one by one point, try to read that in that way. What is the meaning of this point? What is the meaning of this point? Like that, try to understand it. If you think one point is very good point that is not covered in our classroom notes, then note down under the same topic, note down that one. So end of your course, whenever you are going for interview, you are not going to refer these all slides, you are going to refer only notes. Like that your notes should be developed. Am I clear? While I am teaching also, under the chapter you think like this point is very good point, but it is not covered here. Yes, you can note down somewhere. Am I clear? Right. Okay. With this we completed BMM layer. Let me move on to the next chapter. That is called as what's that? Presentation layer. So let us go and try to justify our title. That is called as presentation layer. We have our PowerPoint, right? In the PowerPoint, some document you prepared. It is called as what, sir? Presentation. That means what, sir? That is the one That is the one. End of the day, we are showing to the end users. To prepare that PowerPoint, that PowerPoint, you maybe use some other tools you use and some formatting, so much of hard work you did. Even whatever PowerPoint I am showing, this is directly done, or I may be taking help of some other tools, sir. How I got the screenshot, sir? These are screenshots I may be developed using some Snag IT, okay, or some other snip, something like the tools I taken help, and I created these all screenshots in that fashion and I pasted in the PowerPoint. Correct or not? What I would like to say is, end of the day, what I did, you don't know. But you are seeing what, sir, how this PowerPoint looks like. So presentation layer is the one which is seen by end users. End users means I can say our customers, or I can say as for this one I can say report developers also I can say, sir. Okay, in project how it will be there is RPD will be developed by one person, reports will be developed by some other person. If it is a big project, if it is a small project, piece of work means one guy only may be developing RPD, the same thing will be developing by the same guy will be developing the reports and dashboards also. If really big project, then one or two person dedicatedly work on where, sir? RPD. Remaining people dedicatedly work on reports and dashboards area. Now reports and dashboards area we are working, those guys will able to see only layer. That layer is called as what, sir? Presentation layer. That layer is called as presentation layer. So end of the day, our customers or report developers will not able to see what is physical layer, what is BMM layer. They will able to see only layer that is called as presentation layer. Right. And it is the third most layer in the RPD development, sir. Suppose anyone ask a question, how many main steps are available in the RPD development? You easy to say three main steps. One is what, sir? Physical layer development, BMM layer development, presentation layer development. Third most one is what, sir? Presentation layer. Is it possible to develop presentation layer without BMM layer? No. Okay, each and everything will be source is back end only. I mean to say BMM layer source is physical layer, presentation layer source is what, sir? BMM layer. And physical layer source is what, sir? Database, our database. In our data warehousing projects, most probably it is OLAP system data warehouse will take. Right. Okay, you understand what you mean by that one? Next objective, what you are going to understand end of this lesson. Identify the objects of the presentation layer of your repository. As we identified what are the objects are available in the physical layer earlier, and what are the objects are available in the BMM layer. Now we are trying to identify what are the objects are available in the presentation layer. What are the objects are available in the presentation layer, like that. Now, next point is modify the properties of the presentation layer object. Modify the properties of the presentation layer objects. Anvesh, server apesinda? Okay, right. Okay, modify the properties of the presentation layer objects. Next is what, sir? Build the presentation layer of a repository. These are the 3 points what we need to focus. Let us go and try to understand what you mean by presentation layer. Provides a way to present a customized view of business model to users. What is the meaning is, let us say, see this slide. I have how many business models are here? Only one business model is called as supply sales. Here how many, this is called as subject area basically. This is called as subject area. How many subject areas are available, sir? This is one subject area, this is one subject area, that is 2 subject areas are available. The subject area I created for set of users called as user group 1. The subject area I created for set of users called as user group 2. And I will give permissions accordingly. Tomorrow this user group 2 corresponding a person entered into application, that guy will able to see only what, sir? Supply sales DM corresponding tables. If a person belongs to here, entered into the application, he will able to see only what, sir? This part. That means out of this business model, which one need to be accessed by which guy? In that way I am able to customize or not? Yes. That's how I written this point. The point is called as provides a way to present a customized view of business model to users. What they need to access, that only will make them to access it. Second point, expose only the data meaningful to the users. This also, I can say one more point of this point. I am a district manager, sir. Whatever I want to see, you are the sales representative, normal sales representative. Whatever you want to see, both will be different or same, sir? Both will be different, right? So I will be customized and I will showcase only whatever meaningful to me, that only I will show to you here. Whatever meaningful to you, that only I will show to you. Like this I can customize it. How to customize, you'll come to understand shortly. Next, organize the data in a way that aligns with the way users think about the data. Whatever way that guys are thinking, in that way we can rename even in the presentation layer also. Renaming is possible, where sir? Even in the presentation layer also. In the BMM layer you can do that one. On top of that one, still you want to do some more modifications. Yes, you can do in the presentation layer also. But most of the times, the renaming all things we will handle in the BMM layer. Even though the facility is available to rename in the presentation layer, we'll try to handle in the BMM layer as a best practice. Now, rename data as necessary for the set of users. Rename the data as necessary for the set of users. As I said, in the presentation layer also you can rename it. If you want, you can go for it. Next, presentation layer objects. These are the 4 objects that are available in the presentation layer. One is called as subject area. This object was available in 10G and it was called as what, sir? Presentation catalog. Presentation catalog. Next is presentation table, presentation column, hierarchy object. This object was not available in 10G. It is a new object in OBIEE 11G. New object in OBIEE 11G. So in presentation layer, how many objects are available, sir? 4 objects are available. One is called as subject area, presentation table, presentation column, hierarchy object. What is the biggest object, sir? Subject area is the biggest object. Let us go and try to understand what is this subject area then. What is this subject area? Organize and simplifies the business model for set of users. What is the subject area, sir? It is useful to organize and simplify the business models for set of users. What is a business model, sir? Business models are useful to simplify your physical schemas. Are you clear? Business model is useful to simplify your physical schemas. In supply to schema, you may have sales tables and you may have finance tables. But end of the day, sales tables I am able to move into the sales business model. Finance tables I am able to move into the finance business model. Yes or no? Okay. So what I would like to tell from this is, business model is useful to simplify physical schema. Subject area is useful to simplify what, sir? Business model. Okay, right. Always the forward layer is simplifying the previous layer. Forward layer is simplifying the previous layer. Okay, next point. Single subject area must be populated with content from single business model. Cannot span business models. Cannot span business models. What is the meaning of that one? What is the meaning of that one is, let us say, I have how many business models are here? Only one business model is available. Let us say I am trying to create new subject area. Whenever I am trying to create new subject area, did you notice that or not? Automatically one business model is assigning for this one, yes or no? So one subject area must be depending on only one business model or multiple business models, sir. This is drop down here. As it is a drop down, one subject area will be depending on only one business models. Even though if we have, let us say I have here 2 business models. Let us say I am duplicating this one. Now how many business models are available, sir? 2 business models are available. If I am trying to create one subject area based on 2 business models, is it possible for me? No. So one subject area must be created from only one business model. If you want more clarity, what I can do is I am writing here supplier sales. The supplier sales depending on what, sir? B174 sales business model. Click on OK. If you want, you can drag and drop whatever table from the B174 sales, you can drag and drop. If you want all the tables also, you can select here all the tables and you can drag and drop. As of now, I am trying to drag and drop, let us say 3 tables I am trying to drag and drop here. One table I want to drag and drop from another one, sir. Is it possible to drag and drop? No. Why? Because one subject area you cannot create using multiple business models. You cannot create using multiple business models. Okay, that point is clear. If you want, you can drag and drop this fact sales from year to year. There is no issue. So if people understand, you need to create one subject area only from where, sir? One business model. So you cannot span the business model. That is what the meaning of the span word. Cannot span business models. That means in one subject area, you cannot use a number of business models as a input. But, next one, multiple subject areas can reference the same business model. What is the meaning? Suppose now I want to create one business model is available. Based on this business model, I want to create two subject areas. One subject area I am giving as name as supplier sales representative. Another subject area I am naming it as supplier sales district manager. Something I given like this. Now, if I want, I can drag and drop. If I want, I can drag and drop. Let us say, as a district manager, you will not have time to interact directly with the customer. Yes or no? That is the reason customer information is not required for that guy. I am not taking that guy. As a representative, this guy is the lowest level member. That is the reason you need to interact with the customer, everything. That is the reason everything I am taking to here. Now tell me, using one business model, am I creating here multiple subject areas or not? Yes. That's what the meaning of this one. Multiple subject areas can reference the same business model. Same business model. Next point. Presentation tables. We know already whatever subject area available, inside the subject area I have some tables, right? These tables are called as presentation tables. These tables are called as presentation tables. And inside this presentation table, whatever columns are available, these columns are called as presentation columns. Okay. As of now, we'll go with the presentation table slide. Organize the presentation columns into categories that make sense to the users. What is the meaning is, suppose if I am writing here this name as time. I written this name as what, sir? Time. What is the meaning, sir? If by seeing the title itself, end user come to understand tomorrow, that means report developer or my customer, okay, under this one I have only time related columns. Under this one I have only time related columns. So I will try to rename in a way the end user will understand very clearly what are the columns presented inside this table. Am I clear this point? Right. Right. Next, if you go for the products also, similarly you can rename it. Now I have one question. Sir, we renamed here, here actually D1 time is available, that one we renamed as what, sir? Time. How the communication is going between this presentation layer and BMM layer? Tomorrow some columns from this time table I taken and I am running the report. At that moment, how the backend process should go, sir? This should go and take this table, yes or no? Contact this table. This should go and contact this table, yes or no? This can go and contact this table. Why? Because inside this one we have what, sir? Logical table source. Inside this logical table source I have what is the physical table. That physical table name is available. Already people knows physical layer and BMM layer map using what, sir? Logical table source. In the logical table source you can find how which table is dependency and which column is dependency and all. Correct or not? So the communication between physical layer and BMM layer will be going on via what, sir? Via logical table source. Via logical table source. Now my same question is, how the communication between presentation layer and BMM layer is going on? How the communication between presentation layer and BMM layer is going on? How it is going is, let's say I change their time, right? If you double click on this time, then you can notice here one thing that is called as what's the last? Aliases. There you can find whatever actual BMM layer name is available that you can find here. So this time is the presentation table. This time presentation table is depending on what is the BMM layer object, sir? D1 time. Now tell me, the communication between BMM layer and presentation layer is going on via what, sir? Via aliases. Via aliases. Okay, these 2 points are clear. Physical layer and BMM layer communication is going on via LTS. BMM layer and presentation layer communication is going on via aliases. Via aliases. If you keep on changing your names of the aliases here, I mean to say, First time you change this one, you are not satisfied with that name. Thereafter you are going and you are trying to change this one. You change it as a time one. If you go now and if you see aliases, what will there is, what is available, sir? Whatever changes you are doing, those all changes are tracked here. But always, whatever at present BMM layer object name is available, that name will be in the top position. That name will be in the top position. Are you clear? Okay. You people understand how the communication is going on. Suppose tomorrow if I want to change these columns also, I can change the columns. Let us say this one I want to change it. I am pressing F2 and also I am right click and I am searching for the rename. I am not able to find rename option or F2 option. If you go for the table, I am able to find what's sir? Rename option. How to change the presentation column? Is it possible or not? If it is not possible, why I documented like you can change the presentation column names whatever you like. Okay, it is possible, but the way is different maybe. The way is different maybe. What is the way you need to identify it? Okay, if you see here, double click on this one, by default it is taking the name of what, sir? That means whatever logical column name is available, same name is replicating here. Same name is replicating here. If you want to change forcibly, what you need to do is, we need to disable this one. Once it disabled, yes, you can go ahead and you can change whatever you want. Suppose you want to change this as a day. Click on OK, you can change it. Okay. Now, how the communication is going between this one and this one, sir, then? Again, aliases only. Double click on this day presentation column. Aliases, then we are seeing what, sir? MMDD we are seeing. Okay, that means you can change the presentation column name also, but by default you will take the name of what, sir? Logical column name. By default you take name of the logical column name, but if you want you can take the, if you want you can change the name of the presentation column also. Okay, next. Can be modified independently of logical table. That means whenever I am changing the names in the presentation layer, the same name is replicating in the BMM layer, sir? No. If I am changing this as a time one, is it this name also changing? No. That means whatever naming changes here, that is only scope is what, sir? Presentation layer only. It is not affecting any BMM layer or physical layer like that. Next two. Can we create it automatically by dragging logical tables from BMM layer? Simply we can drag and drop, or manually in the presentation layer. Manually how to create the presentation tables is right click and go for new presentation table. You can create like that also. Okay, next one. Presentation columns. Defines the columns used to build queries in the Oracle user interface. Map to logical columns in the BMM layer. Each and every column, presentation column must be mapped with what, sir? Only one. Very important point. I am saying not one to many. It is what, sir? Only one logical column in the BMM layer. That means one presentation column will not be mapped with multiple columns in the BMM layer. It mapped with only one column. See here. Sorry. Presentation table also only one. Yeah. Presentation layer to BMM layer, it is only one. Yeah, one to one. If you want, let us say I will show you day column, I go for the general tab, it is saying as it is mapped with only what, sir? One logical column that is called as YYMMDD. It is nothing but our business model name, B174 sales, it is coming from D1 time and it is a logical name is what, sir? YYMMDD. Only one it is mapped. If you go for the edit here, if you go for the edit and if you go for the general tab on column source and if you want to rename, if you want to edit here, you can select here only one thing you can select here, but not the multiple things. What I did is I changed the formula. Sorry. Somewhere I clicked the cancel, it seems to be. It's not changing here. If you want, you can create new object. Next what, sir? Presentation column. You can give whatever name you want. Let us say some day one kind of thing. Okay. Day one kind of thing. If you want to map whatever column, let us say logical column, click on what, sir? Browse. Without creating logical column, it won't accept. So click on OK. It's showing us what, sir? Invalid column. Why? Because minimum we should have what, sir? One logical column should be there. I'm going for the browse here. As we saw the browse over there, can you select your multiple columns? Even though I pressed your control, I am not able to select multiple columns here. Okay, you can select only one column. Whatever column you want to select, you can select that column, no issues. But only one column will be mapped. That's what I would like to tell you at this point of time. Am I clear? Right. Okay, that point is clear. Automatically we can create it or manually in the presentation layer. But normally we won't use this manual process. Always we'll go forward, sir. Drag and drop from the BMM layer only we'll do it. Okay, next point. Hierarchy object is newly introduced in OBIEE 11G, supports drill down, drill up analysis reports. This one anyhow I would like to cover more clearly whenever I am trying to do the 8th chapter, that is called as creating dimensional hierarchy chapter. Creating dimensional hierarchy chapter. Till that point of time, remember this has a new object available in the presentation layer. Now tell me how many objects are available in the presentation layer, sir? 4. What are those? Subject area, presentation table, presentation column, hierarchy object. End user will see which layer, sir? BMM layer or presentation layer or physical layer? Only presentation layer end user will see. Can you create one subject area using multiple business models? Can you create one subject area using multiple business models? No. Only one business model you need to use it. Can you create multiple subject areas using only one business model? Answer is yes. The communication between presentation layer and BMM layer is going on via what, sir? Via aliases. And spelling is important, sir, here. In the physical layer, whatever you are creating, that also called as alias only. If I go for new object, there I have an option, that is what, sir? Alias. And here, whatever you are seeing this one, this also called as what, sir? Alias. The pronunciation is same, but spelling is what, sir? ALAS is physical layer object. ALAS, ALIAS, ES is what, sir? The communication object. You got my point? Okay. Next point. Next point. We understand up to hierarchy object, that's clear. Let us move on to the next one. Presentation layer mappings I shown here somehow. Define using interfaces and see these steps, sir. We should be in a position to understand these all things. Creating a new subject area. You understand or not, sir? Creating presentation tables and columns. Rename tables. Reorder tables. If you want to reorder tables, that is very simple job, sir. These all tables are available where, sir? In the subject area. Double click on the subject area and here we have here presentation tables option. Click on that one. Wherever you want to move it, you can move up or down arrow marks. So you can reorder very simply. Double click on the subject area and you can reorder the tables. If I want to reorder the columns, I need to double click on what, sir? Table. Double click on this table, go to the columns tab, you can reorder whatever way you want. So reordering table and reordering columns is a very simple job. Whereas reordering tables in the BMM layer, is it possible, sir? Is it possible? How you can do it? Sorry, by naming conventions. That means tool is automatically sorting A to Z. Tool is automatically sorting A to Z. We need to provide naming conventions in a way, whichever table you want to sit in whichever position, that's how we need to give the naming convention. I mean, suppose this table you want to see in the first position, you can give as what, sir? D0 products. Are you clear? So based on the naming convention, automatically will come in the sorting, A to Z will come in the picture. But here, customized way, it will not follow the A to Z order and all. Whatever way customized way you want to do it, you can do that one. That customized way ordering is not possible in the BMM layer table level, but it is possible in the column level. It is possible in the column. Columns means you can go ahead and you can select here, these columns and you can move outside, top and up arrow marks. Okay, top and up arrow marks are available, you can move that one. But tables cannot be moved because under business models, these all tables are not displaying. Clear? Okay. Next point, delete columns. Very simple job, right click and you can delete it. Rename columns, simple. Reorder columns, simple. Next is what, sir? Nested presentation tables. This is one important one. We need to understand that one. Before going for that one, I would like to show one slide. Please see this slide. Observe it. Okay. We have subfolder concept, right? What is the meaning of subfolder, sir? Folder in a folder is called as subfolder. Similarly, what I want is, let us say I have here some columns. I have here some columns in the supplier sales, in the fact sales, I have some columns here. These all columns are directly coming from database, yes or no? But this column I calculated in the BMM layer, correct or not? What I want is, under this fact sales, I am expecting here two subfolders I am expecting. What I am expecting, sir? Two subfolders I am expecting. One talks about actual columns, second talks about, sir, derived columns. One talks about actual columns, second talks about derived columns. How to create the two subfolders we need to understand. How to create the two subfolders we need to understand. Am I clear? Right. The two subfolders, the subfolders are called as, here one terminology, the terminology was, sir, nested tables. Nested tables. So subfolders and nested tables both are one concept. Okay. Now give the appearance of nested folders in Oracle B answers. If you see carefully here, till I expand this facts, I won't know the sales fact is available or not. Yes or no, sir? Can I say sales facts is subfolder for this facts? Now, prefix the name of the presentation folder to be nested with a hyphen and a space. To implement this one, this is what the syntax we need to follow. The syntax is what, sir? Prefix the name of the presentation folder to be nested with a hyphen and space. This is the one syntax we need to follow. What is the meaning is, go and create one presentation table here. Go and create one presentation table here. I am creating presentation table under this one. Double click on this one. Then I have here one option that is called as what, sir? Plus symbol. You can use like that, or you can go for right click on this one, then go for what, sir? New presentation table. And whatever name you want to provide, you can provide the name. Let us say I am providing the name as what, sir? Actual columns. Just now we read one syntax. That syntax is what, sir? Hyphen followed by space you need to write to provide the nested look and feel. Now I given same syntax, then I am trying to click on OK. Now, and also you need to make sure this actual columns should be available under fact sales. Then only it will appear as a subfolder for fact sales. Suppose this table is available under customers, means it will appear as a subfolder for customers. You got my point? Under main thing only we need to put this one, sir. For whichever table you want to keep as a nested table, under that only we need to keep that one. You got my point? Okay. Now, similarly, can you create one more table? Right click on this one, next, new presentation table. Then I am giving the name as, let us say, derived columns. Derived columns. So you need to follow your syntax, sir, hyphen followed by space. I have one more syntax also to achieve this functionality. Two syntax are available to achieve this functionality. OR, what's that? Type in description of nested table using hyphen and greater than. If I want, I can go here and I can type here hyphen followed by greater than, and whatever you want you can write here. Are you clear? Whatever you want you can write here. So hyphen and greater than is available, then this also will act as what, sir? Nested folder for this one. But the problem is, you might be thinking like, sir, this one and this one both are, sorry, this one and this one both are available in the same level, yes or no? In the presentation layer, you may not be feel that kind of look and feel, sir. Once I load into the server, front-end people come to understand how it is available. You got my point? Till you loading that one, that look and feel may not be that clear. Okay. As of now, tomorrow we'll come to how to load this RP into the server. Tomorrow you come to understand. At that moment, this concept will be more clear. Till I expand this fact sales, you will not able to see what's that? Actual columns and derived columns. As of now, I am trying to move whatever columns corresponding things are there. Those things I am trying to move it. Actual columns, then pending orders into derived columns. Now we have here two subfolders for the fact sales. Are you clear my point? With this we completed one thing that is called as nested presentation tables. We have two syntaxes, and one more point also I given, place it after the folder in which it nests. That means this one you want as a nested folder for this one, then you need to keep under this only. This one you want as a nested folder for customers means you need to keep this one under customers only. That is the meaning of this one. You mean to say this one, is it possible to drag under these customers? That's what you are asking. Yeah, you can drag and drop. Double click on this one. Your presentation table is available. All you need to do is order only you need to change, right? You can change this one and it will be available under customers means it appears as a customers nested subfolder. You can create the table. There are by default will come in the bottom. Thereafter, if you want in the top level means you can double click on it and go to the presentation table. Then you can reorder that one, whatever you want. Am I clear? Click on OK. If people understand how to create the presentation layer, very small chapters are this is. Very small chapter. I am also saving this one. Why it is failed? Join, we wantedly we deleted that join. Let us go and try to create that join. Logical join, fact sales to customer. Okay. Close it. Now go for the file menu, check global consistencies. What's that? But you need to perform this testing once you completed what's that? Physical layer, BMM layer, presentation. Without completing all things, if you run this one, automatically throw what's that? Errors only. Am I clear? Anyhow, this testing you come to understand more clearly tomorrow's class. I can say tomorrow class and day after tomorrow class, very, very important classes. If you miss those two classes, I think you are missing everything. Because tomorrow I am going to show you this RPD, whatever we developed till today, that RPD we are going to load into the server. At that moment, we are going to understand what are the servers are available in the OBIEE and how to load this into the server. Once you load into the server, using our RPD, how to generate our report, we come to understand. That's what the exercise tomorrow we are going to do it. That must have important lesson that is. Am I clear? Don't miss tomorrow's class. If you miss tomorrow's class, happily you can leave the course. If you want, let me know. Fees also I can wapas it. No, don't worry. Okay. Thank you.